G'day cocktail lovers, this is an old-fashioned variation I've come up with. If you're a regular on this channel, you'll know that the old-fashioned is my favourite cocktail. Not least because there's so much room to riff with it. The basic whiskey sugar bitters is just incredible in my opinion, but there is so much room to play around with that. And I was skipping across various websites looking for inspiration. I did notice a couple incorporating coffee or coffee liqueur elements in there. I live in Melbourne, Australia, a city that is utterly obsessed with coffee, and I'm not a coffee drinker. I have gotten into using coffee liqueurs or coffee flavors in cocktails, but not so much as a lot of my city brethren. I decided to come up with one inspired by the Melbourne coffee culture and the weird and wacky variations of orders people come up with. This is actually relatively tame. I'm calling this a vanilla macchiato old-fashioned. When it comes to the whiskey element for an old-fashioned, there's whiskeys I could recommend, but I honestly think it should be dealer's choice. If you're making yourself an old-fashioned, go with a whiskey or other spirit that you like. But for this, for me, because it's about Melbourne's coffee culture, it has to be a Melbourne whiskey, so I'm going with Starward, my favourite Starward release, the Nova Single Malt. Really tasty, aged in wine barrels, very nice, easy drinking, and great flavours in that particular whiskey. For the coffee element, I could have gone Mr. Black, Australia's own Mr. Black that's taking over the world, but I'm going with this one from the Archie Rose Distillery in Sydney, Blasphemy. This is actually a coffee-infused whiskey. So it's 40% ABV, so I guess I'm doubling up on the whiskey, but why the heck not? And then I'm going to use vanilla syrup rather than my usual sugar syrups. This is one that's actually designed for coffees, I think, but it'll go well in here. And of course, being an old-fashioned, there'll be bitters in there as well. Now, I haven't actually tasted this yet. I just decided this would make a good drink, so here we go. Oh my god, that makes a hell of a good drink. Oh, that is really nice. You could adjust the coffee elements up or down. You could use actual coffee if you're a real coffee head, like use some espresso or something. Always be open to experimentation, I say. But I quite like how this has turned out. Here's how I made it. In a mixing glass, put 2 ounces or 60 mils of the whiskey of your choice. Then I added 3/4 of an ounce, around 22.5 mils of the coffee element. Then I recommend between 5 and 10 mils of vanilla syrup. And finally, we're doing 1 dash of an aromatic bitters and 1 dash of orange bitters. Add ice to the glass, stir that for 20 to 25 seconds to chill and dilute the drink, and then strain that into a rocks glass over a big chunk of ice. And my favourite old-fashioned garnish, a twist of orange peel and a maraschino cherry on a skewer. And I am using a big chunk of my sexy clear ice. As I always say when I use this, if you stay to the end of the video, there will be a link to my secret, top secret way to do it. It's a way that doesn't involve any expensive materials and doesn't take up a lot of freezer space, is dead easy, is using stuff that you've probably already got or can get very easily without breaking the bank, and you get excellent results with the clear ice. It's almost foolproof. But check it out, and by all means, if you're a coffee lover, I do recommend putting some coffee in your old-fashioned or a coffee liqueur, a coffee element, because the flavors do go really well together. I'm going to sit down and enjoy this. Hope you're enjoying yourself wherever you are, and I hope to see you again soon. Until such time as I do, I will say cheers.